Welcome back, everybody, to the place where we play every Shantae. And man, has it been a while since I picked this one up. You have no idea. Because there's been no break in the schedule, but in real time, real life, yes. Ew. That's right. Okay, it's all coming back to me now, though. Where we last left off, there seemed to be a mass spread of amnesia striking Scuttletown. Yes, it wasn't just confined to Bolo and Uncle. Everybody seems to have a bad case of the I don't knows. Nope, can't remember a thing. Okay, how about you? Nope, no recollections. I don't see any fog or gas, no poison in the water. It retains its same warm, familiar blue hue. And maybe the mayor knows something. That'd be a nice change of pace. The streets. Streetwalker by the name of Holly had to go somewhere. No idea where she went, of course not, because yeah, naturally he would fall victim too. But the good news is we have a map, so I know where to go now. Tasseltown, I guess that's where Holly went off to, so we're gonna go track her down and see if we can shake some intel out of her by force if necessary. I'm sure Shantae wouldn't have a problem with that, considering Holly's not very high on her friends list at the moment. And Sky looks kinda stoned. Who am I? Who are you? Who is this huge bird that looks like it's gonna eat me at any moment? Tasseltown? Yes. Ever heard of it? Probably not right now. Probably struggling with your first name. But Wrench remembers what to do. Yeah, you know, if nobody else has got it together, Wrench does. I say we ought to elect this bird mayor of Scuttletown. I think we'll get more accomplished. But anyway, we're off to Tasseltown. I'm expecting a lot of pomp and circumstance, but that may not be the case. And are you sure we're in the right spot? Not that she would know anyway, because she is high as a kite in the sky. Oh no, this was Tasseltown, but it was destroyed a long time ago, apparently. And Shantae's obviously not happy to see Holly, even though we were kind of sort of looking for her, so consistency. Anyway, Sky, you stay put. Try not to get into trouble, falling off any cliffs or ledges, and we'll see if we can get to the bottom of this mystery. I'm ready too. Let's try not to die too quick. Because this game's kind of ferocious at times, as all the Shantaes are. Case in point, we got these little crawling spikes. Big-eyed. Not quite gelatinous, but rotund. I'm just going to call them blobs. We got these big angry blobs that aren't really that big, and they've got what look like mechanized buzzards helping them out. And I'm kind of at a loss for words. As good a time as any to take a swim, I think, so we're going to plunge ourselves into the deep blue and see if we can find any secrets. And straight away we got a sunken soul. 1 of 10. I wonder if that's 10 per area or 10 per the whole game. Ah, collectibles. I blame Banjo-Kazooie. Though truthfully, they just took the formula that was started with Mario and took it to the next level. More like the next exponent. Yeah. I guess maybe that's why I couldn't get into Banjo like a lot of people. I mean, it was a well-designed game, but I was not a big fan of the collectathon aspect. You know, a little bit, sure, but I think it just took it too far. There's like just too many different things that you can pick up. Which is why Donkey Kong 64 was a pain too, but I never really played that one. I just saw some clips of it and I just knew, oh no, I'm staying far away from that one. But even folks I know who love those kind of games was like, yeah, Donkey Kong probably took it too far. Yeah. So anyway, the crab is getting a little easier to control. It's still a bit of a pain, but, you know, it's manageable. I'm just being a baby. Just crying and whining all day. And I have no excuses either, because at least babies, you know, they do it due to lack of alternatives. You know, they're kind of limited in their language abilities at the time. I have no such excuse. And we're dealing with sandstorms. interrupting our calm in the oasis splendor. Can never enjoy the sights for too long before something has to crop up and rear its ugly head. And really, when your enemy is nature itself, what can you do to defend yourself? Not much, but enough. Enough to get through and make it to the next day. The next platform, the next block. Across the next chasm into the next area. And on to the next stage. But before that, I think the monkey is going to help us accomplish that goal. It's not that much faster, but just enough to make a difference. And I can move this block to help out and use that as a stopgap. Oh, okay. I didn't quite make it where I wanted to, but you know what? That worked out too. Because at this point, using the terrain to our advantage is the only way we're going to make it to point B, clearly. And now wouldn't it be sly of them to hide some secret areas underneath that quicksand, but now's not the time to test it. We'll take down the sandworm as it sinks into the sand. And okay, for some reason it's not knocking me back. I'm not going to question it. I'm about to get knocked back now though, because I'm too slow. And made it. And a portal to another dimension, possibly. Pick up some gems first. And the sandstorm has subsided just in time. So it's a good time to see what we're having here. Possibly leading to another dance, that will be nice. But not quite, because sandstorm. And not even the monkey is fast enough to get past it, so I'm guessing I need a dash or speed-based power-up later to return to that area and make it through. Gotcha. Because Shantae wouldn't be Shantae without backtracking and revisiting. I think they call it replay value. Or you could call it overextending the game, or artificially extending it. You know, it's a glass half full, glass half empty sort of deal. You take your pick. What sounds better to you? And yes, I've learned my lesson. We're going to keep saving that game. Not going to be too arrogant this time. I'm not that good, and I've admitted it, and I'm going to live with it. I don't know if I mentioned this in an earlier episode, but originally I was going to play through this game from beginning to end off camera before I recorded a playthrough so that I would not be such a novice at everything. But you know what? Due to time constraints, that wasn't really a possibility. So, you know, we're just going to do it like we've been doing the whole time and just go blind. First try. Why not? At least it'll keep the skill level consistent with the rest of the series. Where I went into Shantae with a little bit of experience, but not much, and then every game after that completely brand new for me. And I didn't do too terrible, right? I've had my sections that were problem spots, but got to the end. And perfect time to die, right? As I'm talking about how much I was not incompetent. Always happy to prove myself wrong, but it's okay. This looks like an area where we have unlimited lives. I don't think we're going to get a game over. Oh, actually, that just took some heart energy, so yeah, if I run out of hearts, yeah, I will die, obviously, so. Pretty merciful, though, all things considered. It could have been instant death. They're not that terrible, though. At least not today. And the music is pretty much just telling me to keep moving forward, but you know what? Gems equals money, and money equals new abilities that I could use. That'd be really great if Shantae can learn a warrior's dance at some point. Maybe from that Amazon who wants the monster's milk. That'd be great, because I really miss her fighting moves. And it's sad, it's such a downgrade. In the first Shantae, she had all these moves. She had that spinning tiara dash. She had the flying jump kick, the drill kick. All these moves, and they were all actually very useful, especially the kick maneuvers. And then ever since then, she's been sort of dry in that regard. You know? Suffering from a case of amnesia herself, it seems. Only thing she's been retaining is the backdash from Risky's Revenge, which seems to get more and more unremarkable with every game. Like in Risky's, it was actually very helpful. It was quick, it had a nice distance, but it just keeps getting gimped and gimped to where now I don't even want to bother with it. It seems pointless, literally. But maybe it's sort of become something like an instant shield from Sonic 3 where it's for experts only. Because I've been told if you really know how to use the instant shield and have the timing down, it can be an extremely valuable item and can really save your butt on a number of occasions. Pretty much making you invulnerable in certain situations. And I was a very good Sonic player back in the day. I mean, I was able to get all 14 Chaos and Master Emeralds no problem, get them early on. You know, was able to go through most of the stages without too many problems, get all the endings at will. Pretty much knew the Blue Sphere maps down to a science, dot by dot, pixel by pixel. Of course, that was years ago. I haven't really played the games that regularly for a long time, so I'm sure I'm very rusty and very forgetful. But the Insta Shield trick, whatever it is, yeah, I never got that good with it. To be fair, I never really attempted to. It just kind of seemed like a wasted move to me. So, but that's what ignorance will do. It'll cloud the usefulness of things from your mind because, you can't be bothered to know. It's not a good quality. You can't help being ignorant of some things, maybe that's true, but still, it's not something that you want to promote or celebrate or encourage, to be sure. And I'm just way off tangent here. This is probably why I'm losing. More losses are on the way, I'm sure. Skeletons be gone. I mean, you're already damned, so go the whole way, why don't you? As I try not to follow in your footsteps. And the monkey is quicker than crawling, so no brainer. Here we can see the bones and the fossils of those who were not quite so fortunate and not quite so quick. Let's also not follow in their footsteps. And I will take a few shots to the face via flame. Anything I can walk away from wasn't too bad. And we're just going to continue to ignore them. Them who have nothing to offer us. Seeing more of those flowers. I know they come into play. I wonder if that's related to the warp dance. Maybe those are trigger spots, or maybe we do have a dryad dance that I haven't really had a chance to use, but all that does is really drop oranges for you to collect, and I don't even know what the oranges do. I don't know if they fill up your magic meter or what, but things we need to be on the lookout for. But maybe she gets some sort of a plant or flower power based dance that will allow her to use the flowers to do something, maybe regenerate health. Anything would be nice. They could just be there to troll us. Wait for it have proven to be experts at that when they're so inclined. And okay, probably was a mistake to go for that. It's really hard to judge how much distance you have from that thing, so yeah. And since I'm not that quick, I might just want to forget about all the pots. I'm at 380 right now, that's not too terrible. These, however, are easy to get, so I will continue to splurge. There's probably a moral in this somewhere about greed and where it'll get you. So, don't be greedy, folks. Nothing good will come from it. Just collect what you can along the way. Moderation is the key. Don't lose perspective. Always remember what matters most in life. Materialism often leads to misery. And spikes. Those don't help either. But it's all about excess. The key is just not going overboard. And you know when you're going overboard. Don't lie to yourself, because I know when I am. And was that thing groaning? Was that going... Or am I hearing things? Or is that possibly my stomach? Despite the fact that I just had an ogre's amount of tomato soup in my body. Oh, what do you guys know about soup? Nice hot soup. Especially tomato soup. And it was some hearty tomato soup too. Had some vegetables mixed in there. It was kind of chunky but smooth too. Oh man, that's the good stuff. Whew. Yeah, I think that pretty much took care of me for a while today. And And that's right, we were supposed to be avoiding you guys. Let's get back to that. Seemed like a good idea that I should not forsake. Little pots containing a heart. That was worth getting. If it was a gem, I would have left it alone. Right now I'm almost at 500, so that is one good thing about having to redo this area. Not that it was intended, but you just collect that much more money, which will be useful later. But at some point, you just got to get serious and get to the goal. So that's kind of where my mind is at right now. And this is probably going to be a shorter episode than usual, depending on what the next area looks like. So I apologize for that. I know I normally, we're going to have to skip that base. Not worth the chance. Normally I try to have them around the 20-minute mark for this series, but not today. And no, not going there. Possible confirmation we will have a harpy or some sort of flight form at some point so that we can actually go north there past the walls of spikes. And out of the pits and into the other pit. The previous pit was a mouth. This one is bottomless as far as we can see. So I'm going to have to be careful. I'm having Mega Man 2 hot flashes here. I think that was Heat Man stage. Oh, what a legacy he's left for video games. Because how many times have we seen these disappearing and reappearing platforms now? And those archers look pretty cool. But this area is looking relatively action-packed, so we're going to call it a day. Everybody, thanks for joining me. Have a wonderful one, and hopefully I'll see you here soon.